What is going on, fellas? I wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about something that's been on my mind with the new Black Ops 7 being announced, Battlefield 6 coming out, and all that. I wanted to talk about how I think Black Ops 6 will be remembered. And I know we all have probably various opinions on that, but I want to start off by saying that I think the gameplay in Black Ops 6 Omni Movement, I think it was definitely a success. I think it feels good. It allows me to play how I want to play. I know a lot of people definitely want a slower movement, more classic style Call of Duty, but I think for the year that we're in and the way games are going, I think Omni Movement feels great. But I think we have to accept that the inevitable is going to happen with this game because we're in it right now and everyone kind of hates it and they're complaining. But within a year or two, it's going to be like, you know what? They're going to say Black Ops 6 wasn't really that bad. I think it actually felt pretty good. And I think this happens because when we're in the game for the year that it's alive and we're getting slammed with store notifications, battle pass notifications, we got the loadout bugs, the visual glitches, and the seasonal updates always disappoint. I think this it just kind of wears on us and we get sick of it. But then, maybe in a year or two we go back without these expectations and without the store, drowning in these updates. And I think we like, oh, maybe if I just play this game for what it is, it's actually a good time. So I think that will happen. People will kind of look back with a more positive perspective. And I think really one of the biggest things Call of Duty needs to correct is kind of the way they pose as a live service game. I know there are seasonal updates and stuff, and those are great. It's nice to have things to look forward to in periods throughout the year. But one of the worst aspects of the game, I think, is the way they filter in and out playlists for no reason. So there's always going to be search and destroy, domination, all that, but then you get the fun stuff that they add in, like gun game, and like in this video, the team elimination. I thought was actually a really good time, and it kind of gets you back in the flow of the game. It gives you something to do, and then a week later, it's gone, essentially for no reason. Um, just because we're a live service game, we have to take things in and out, but really it's just removing the fun stuff, and then we got to wait for it to come back. And there's all these playlists that no one touches, so I really that needs to go. I think the fun stuff that shouldn't, like in Black Ops 1, gun game was just in the game. We didn't have to wait a month for it to come and then leave and then come and then leave. We had our playlists and they were a good time. And if they want to add stuff throughout the year, that's great, but just the removing and adding of stuff really without a rhyme or reason, especially in terms of playlists, I don't think that's conducive to a fun year of Call of Duty. Because you find, like, I remember my friend and I, when it first came out, we were playing a lot of 2v2. I forget what it's called. Not gun game. What's it called? Gunfight. We were playing a lot of 2v2 gunfight, and then one day it was just gone. So I was like, okay, do we want to like play team deathmatch? Like there was no, like, we didn't want to play Surgeon Story. There was no gunfight equivalent. So we just had to kind of switch it up and play respawn modes. But those, for if we were playing together, that wasn't as fun. So that was stuff like that. It just kind of bums you out. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about SBMM. I touched on it a little bit in my other video, but obviously I don't want to complain about playing against good players because really having any success doesn't really mean anything unless you're playing competition that's somewhat on the same plane as you. But at the same time, I think we have to ask, at what point is regular matchmaking also just ranked? Because for me, like, I do want to play well no matter what playlist I'm in. So I'm gonna try. But when it becomes almost arduous and like tiring to play for more than an hour because you have to try so hard to have a decent game, it gets a little, it wears on you. Because really it's fascinating how they say these things are in the game to kind of increase engagement and keep you on the game for longer, but then you find yourself, after 90 minutes, you're like, dude, I'm ready for a break. Like, this is really tiring to play. So that's kind of where I'm at. I like playing against good players, but also um, I really have to try hard. And if I want to experiment with a different gun or I want to try and snipe, if I go straight from using my regular loadout to that, I will just get slammed because my algorithm is trying to fit me with players, based on me using my meta loadout. So that stuff, there's not much room if you're trying your best to just switch it up, because you will, unless, I mean, you can just get slammed for 3 or 4 games and then get into some lower level lobbies. But I don't really have the patience or mental fortitude for that. So I guess that's just where I'm at. SBMM, I think it's not as bad as some people make it out to be, but I actually think it absolutely decreases the length of my game sessions because it's just tiring. So overall, I genuinely I enjoy playing Black Ops 6. I think the gunplay and the movement is really spot on. I just think we're too bogged down with the other minutia to really acknowledge that and get to enjoy it. And especially you think things added on like voice chat, people getting comm bans and no one really talks in game chat. It's just kind of a sterile and lifeless experience. And then you got the AI slop everywhere in the calling cards and these map filters. So the core gameplay, really, I think it is good. I think it's enjoyable, but there's just so much nonsense on top of it that I think it's hard to just sit in it and enjoy it. So I really don't think Black Ops 6, apart from adding Omni movement, I don't think it's gonna have a player base, in the coming years. I think it's gonna be like all the other Call of Duties. It's gonna die, and people will say, it had its moments, but it was just another Call of Duty. So maybe I'm wrong. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments, and I hope you guys have a great day.